Hey everyone, Mercedes here from Rafferty Gardens, and today I woke up with an idea of building a pond, much to Julian's disgust. So we are going to dig a hole. The plan is dig said hole. Then we've got a layer of carpet. We just had our carpets laid, so we saved a few of the scraps from landfill, and we're going to put that down just to soften that area and protect the liner a bit. And then we've got a big 3 meter by 3 meter liner that I just bought off Amazon. So we're going to lay that on top of our carpet, and it's not going to be a fish pond, it's going to be a frog pond. So we're not going to have any big fish in there. There's a native breed of fish. I'll try and find the name that are frog friendly, so we will try and find those. But yeah, and we'll try and build a bit more shade. So we've got some really nice clumping bamboo that we're going to put around the back. We'll do some rock landscaping, all that jazz, see how we go. It obviously won't be finished in one day, but we'll come along for the journey building a frog pond. Okay, so step one has done. We used a mattock. Haven't seen a mattock. These things are really easy to break up hard ground, and obviously a shovel just to scoop out our pond shape. We then used a rake to level it out, and we're actually using a leveler here, which is just a homemade contraption. You find 2 points, and the plumb bob will sit in the middle of 2 lines there. So we're trying to find out where our lowest point is and where our water will raise to. Obviously we don't want one side to be really above ground. We want it to be the water to be flat, and we are on a hill, so it makes it a little bit trickier. And then we've also just used what are those called?
An A-frame.
No, not that. The ground.
A tampera.
A tampera. Can you show the tampera? We also just use a tampera to just compact the ground a bit, make it a bit more sturdy. And yeah, it's looking good. And we've done it so it is going to be a frog pond, as I've mentioned. So we've got a lower bit of about 4 inches, and then our deepest point is about, I don't know, 15 inches, I'd say. Maybe 12, I don't know. So that's step 1 done. Our next step is going to be to lay the lining. And we've got some offcuts of our old carpet, or our new carpet actually, but we got some offcuts, and then put down a pond liner. So we will do that now. So we've got the carpet down, the liner down, and the hose is in. And now it's flowing around everywhere. But this will fill with water, see where we're sitting, and then we'll be putting rocks and around the outside.
Just a note here that we did have to adjust the pond while it was filling. If you see right next to my leg, there is like a lump, and we just had to build it up a bit so there was a bit higher ground, as it was filling higher on that side than the other side. And then on the opposite side away from me, we had to actually create softer angles so it would fill up a bit higher. And we just made those edging or the steps more prolific as a real step down. But yeah, and the water ended up pretty much where I wanted it, so I'm happy with it.
So that happened, and it's full of water now. So we have a pond! Well, it's kind of a pond. So next step, we're going to get some rocks, put it around, plant some bamboo, do a bit of jizzing up, and we have got a little solar fountain, but we don't want to put a water pump in here because it is going to be for habitat. So we've had a pond, we have a really average pond. It has a pump in there, and we often find dead frogs sucked up into that pond. So we are going to rely on plants and just a little solar bubbler to keep the oxygen levels high. So come back later. Okay, so we built a pond in a day, and it actually only took us about maybe 3 hours. So we did the digging, we did the leveling, we did the compacting, we put down a carpet, we put down the liner, and then we planted some bamboo. So we got a bamboo plant here, a bamboo plant at the back, and I just realised I don't have my microphone. I hope you can hear me okay. We've got a little sitting log at the back there so people can sit. And then we just managed to grab a bunch of rocks from our neighbour across the road, so that's awesome. And a really loud car. So we put in all these rocks. We will need some more just to create like that edging. We had plants from our original plant, and we actually moved our resident fish into this pond. I know I said it was meant to be a frog pond, but he was in a sad little pond, so he deserves a little bit of luxury, so he's swimming around in there. We did try out the solar water fountains, but they're not really working. So if anyone has any recommendations, that'd be awesome. I think our next step would just be really complete that rock wall on the inside, put in some more aquatic plants, which I'll have a look in some nurseries tomorrow, and then just do a bit more greenery around the outside. I'm going to pretty much, and find a better water filter, or a water fountain, not really a filter. But yeah, so that's a pond in 3 hours.